Welcome to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric, a Gen Xer from Connecticut, where I get into local and national news, politics, and culture. No topic is off limits, no feelings are spared. No mainstream sugar-coated BS here. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get on with the show.
Well, welcome back. As you can see, I am joined in the studio today with a guest. My guest is Rob Vardaro. Am I saying that correctly?
You are actually perfect.
Nice. Now, I learned who you are by we'll say what antics that you did down in Washington D.C.
Yeah. When I had fun down there, it was a good time.
Yeah,
Except the arrest part, but it was nice.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
My friend Matt, shout out to Matt, sent me a video. He goes, "Hey, did you see this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard about him." He goes, "He's from Connecticut." I'm like, "No fucking way." And he goes, "Yeah, he's also on that radio show you listen to." I'm like, "Which one?" He goes, "Reese." I'm like, "Oh, so shout out to Reese."
Yeah.
So I contacted Reese. He sent me I'm like, "Dude, that was awesome." So before we get into your antics in DC, you're what, a political activist?
I don't even know what to say. I just got irritated.
What got you irritated to start making videos?
So yeah, I got back from war in Ukraine, and when I got back, I was like, I saw literally like all these people protesting about stuff they didn't know, and they're all holding like Ukraine flags, yet none of them went to the war, and they're all like, let's put it this way: I went to war with somewhat of a normal society, even though it's post-COVID. And I come back and everyone's like
nuts.
And I'm like, I just can't, like, I'm sick of these people on the street. I'm going to do what they do to everybody. And it was just me, like, literally just like, they go to everyone's stuff and they protest, they go on stage, they try to ruin everything. So I go, I'm just going to go to their thing and do the same action. And they did not know how to handle it.
So the thing you went to, it was during the night of President Trump's State of the Union,
Yeah.
right? And the Democrats had, I forget what they called it, was a state of whatever down in D.C. as well.
Yeah.
And so you actually helped them set everything up.
So what I did is...
How did all that go?
Yeah, so I got there and they had a small group of people bring the stuff in and they're setting it up and they're like, "Hey, would you like to help us?" And I'm just sitting there because I was going to troll like from the outside of the thing, but I'm like, okay, well, if I'm a volunteer, then I'm allowed to be there, right? So I helped set up the stage, I helped set up the fences, the quote-unquote border,
Walls are wrong.
And
Borders are bad.
Borders are bad except for me.
Yeah.
So what I did is I helped set up everything. I was acting like I was like, "Oh yeah, what's going on here?" Blah blah blah. Right. So like I didn't know I'd be able to do all this, but I helped set everything up. So that's why I was allowed like next to the gate in the first place, was because everyone saw me helping. And once again, like, since I set everything up, I'm like, my mindset is I'm a volunteer. They said, "Are you want to volunteer?" So I'm one of the people. Why can't I go in there? So that was my mindset on it. Like, I didn't go up and say, "Can I volunteer?" They asked me.
You were invited.
I was invited to volunteer. Yeah. So that's how the whole setup process happened, and it was crazy because like, there was like barely any people there. Like, I thought there was gonna be a ton of people there. There was probably like 30 people, like 30 to 20 people, 30 people. But the problem is, most of the things you see on camera, they're all reporters.
There were a lot of reporters.
There was a massive amount of reporters. Like, they quadrupled the amount of people that were there.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally. And so you were able to, when Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy was up on stage, you were able to get pretty close to him and let him know what you thought of him.
Yeah. So with that, I'll be real. So I heard this preacher go up first, and the preacher's basically saying how horrible Trump is. And I go, "Well, you don't see much of a preacher if you're just saying how horrible a side is." So, that's not really, I don't believe you're a real preacher then at that point.
Yeah.
Because you're not preaching for both sides, you're picking one.
Not preaching for peace, unity.
Yeah, exactly. And it's straight division. So anyways, Murphy goes up, and I saw him there, and I go, "Okay, cool." Like, and my mindset was this: I'm gonna be real. Like, I was just so I was actually upset because I'm like, these people are spitting on our State of the Union. Like, our people go to theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it or not, it's a respect thing for the office, even if you don't respect the person in the office.
You show the disrespect by not standing.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to, go on stage. So what happened is Murphy was saying how Trump's bad, he's a fascist, blah blah blah, right? Saying all the same stuff they always do. And I'm like, dude, I'm tired of this. So anyways, the guy opened the gate and this woman came out. So I go, okay, well the gate's open. I helped volunteer for it. So I went through and then went up next to him and I was like, I had an ICE sign that was going to tear up like Pelosi teared up the thing, but I didn't have time to because they grabbed me. But so people originally thought they were like, so I got mixed responses to that. Some people were saying, Rob, like some people were writing, I think he was a Democrat disruptor to make it more. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, they arrested me.
I just wanted to call him a scumbag.
Yeah, I just wanted to call Murphy a scumbag, and I wanted to make fun of the fact that they say we are anti-borders yet have borders. So, like, that was my mindset on it. And, but yeah, they grabbed me and brought me off the stage. And anyways, I was talking to a guy there when I was leaving. So I was leaving. And the police came up and they arrested me for assault. And I go, who did I assault? And I said, hey, I have a 360 camera. I can show you right now. Literally right now, I never touched anybody. And they're like, no, we don't care. And but when I found out later what happened, because it was because of Murphy.
Yeah.
So
optics.
Murphy was upset. So Murphy wanted me charged with something. And so the police went to people and were basically saying, hey, did he touch you? Did he push you? Sad to them is, once again, the people asking these questions didn't realize I had that 360 camera. So because I only told some officers I did. So the ones that were arresting me. So like I put the whole video out of me going up, me coming down, me getting arrested, them not knowing that the camera's still on and saying they want to shut off my camera. Like,
nice.
It's all, and I posted all of it. So yeah, and so I got arrested. They put me in jail for an assault I didn't do, and yeah, it was. And then this last week they finally were like, yeah, our witnesses lied, but they didn't want to punish the witnesses that were lying.
Of course not.
Yeah. So, and what I found out too was I heard the prosecutor talking, and he goes like, if it was anybody else, this would all been dropped. So they got rid of the assault charge because there was no assault.
Exactly.
The only person that was assaulted was me. I was the only one grabbed.
Yeah.
Even Murphy put his hand on me, but once again, I don't blame him. I went up next to him.
Exactly.
So once again, I'm not putting assault on any of these people, right?
Yeah.
So, so what they said is Murphy was upset with me, and he was like, they're like, Murphy wants to make an example of this person so it doesn't happen again. And I go, well, you're the one that says, hey, I'm all about protesting. Let's all protest. Protest against Trump, but you can't protest against Murphy.
Yeah.
So once again, it's that hypocritical thing, but it's because of him that the charges weren't fully dropped, and they moved it now to I crossed a locked off area.
So you crossed the border?
Yeah, I crossed the border, but the problem is there's no signs on the border saying I can't be there. Plus, I volunteered. So it's once again.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying, and they said this. They said we'll do a deal with you. You admit guilt, and they go, and you'll have unsupervised probation, and nothing will happen to you. But the whole point is, Murphy can still be like, I won.
Yeah, they just want something on paper.
Yeah,
and they want to save face.
And I said no. I said I'm not going to take the deal. And I go, because they went from a assault charge to, even the judge looked at them and goes like, what are you doing? Because you went from an assault charge to now crossing something, and because your witness lied. And
this whole thing should just be,
it should have, yeah,
don't do it again, done.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is this, like, I never resisted. When they said leave, I left. So there was no, I didn't stay on stage, I didn't refuse, I didn't fight back. They told me what to do, I did it. You know what I mean? So it's unlike, and once again, it's not like the left where they will literally stay on the stage and keep yelling. I got told to leave, and I left. So, but yeah, they charged me with something I didn't do. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Chris Murphy.
Yeah.
But him being upset, I don't blame him.
Yep.
I would be upset at my security. Why did anybody get that close to me?
100%. The thing is this, though.
What am I paying you to do?
Yeah. Once again, there was no security there. So the thing is this.
What?
Yeah. So the police, they weren't even involved with that situation there. What was there was some random volunteers that were standing around in the place.
And clearly no vetting.
And no vetting whatsoever.
Dude.
And so that's the thing too, is they were upset, like, once again, because I was able to get that close to a senator.
Yeah.
And there was nothing stopping me. But once again, that's not my fault that
Yeah,
they didn't do that.
The
So
focus shouldn't then be on you. It should be, how did he get through?
Yeah,
like,
but-
what are you guys doing?
yeah, so the Capitol Police were pissed about it. Like, everyone, a lot of people got pissed. And I don't blame them, but like I said, I don't blame them. But when you put false charges on somebody to make them go to literally prison for something they didn't do, I'm not okay with that.
Especially when it's because of your ego.
But yeah, because of ego. And once again, like, I would have been cool with, if they said this, hey, Rob, here's a fine, I would have been cool. The issue is they lied, and they know they lied. I told them I had proof. We showed them the proof. They didn't change the charges until 2 days before my court hearing.
Unbelievable.
And because they're like, so we had no way to really counter the thing at the moment. So I was like, and they're like, here's the plea deal. And I go, no, I'm not taking it. So that's how it played out.
Unbelievable. So when did you start doing videos? Was this...
I started because I got punched by a trans activist, and that became well known because, I went to a protest, and they said he was a Republican trans activist, but he wasn't. But the person that punched me ended up shooting his family at a ice rink in Rhode Island. It was that same person. So because I even posted the message, like texting my sibling. I was like, hey, this trans woman punched me, blah blah. And then, like, literally, like, a few weeks later, the person...
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was the same exact person. So,
dude.
But they're like, oh, he's a Republican. I was like, well, he was at a anti-ICE event, and he got mad at me because I was wearing an ICE t-shirt, pro-ICE t-shirt. And he was calling me a bigot and stuff, and he just punched me, and the cops did nothing. Cops literally did nothing. So this person who ended up killing his family later punched me, and the cops literally saw it and didn't do anything in Rhode Island. So, yeah.
Damn. Now, you said that you fought in Ukraine?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So I know that you are a retired Marine.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for your service.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
We talked before. How did you fight in Ukraine?
Yeah, so one of my friends...
Because I thought we weren't fighting.
We're not. So that's part of the issue, too.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, they're like, hey, let's give all the funds to Ukraine. I'm like, all these weapons. That's a separate issue I'll bring up too. But when I went there, it's because one of my friends was Ukrainian Special Forces. He's like, bro, we got javelins. I don't know how to use them. The war just started. His family ended up getting killed. So the Russians like lit up their car.
Oh,
so he was like, do you mind like helping us out? And I said, yeah, I'll help you out. And then like as soon as I got there, he was killed. So like,
sorry, dude.
but I was, thanks, man. But I was like, my mindset was like, I'm gonna help, the situation, so what was worse about that too is like the Russians also filmed the dead bodies of his family, and that like went a little viral on the Telegram stuff. So the way he found out was he saw the video of his dead family. So, but it's right when the war started. So, anyways, I went out there and ended up helping. So I was with different units, but but I did the Battle of Kyiv, so north of Kyiv. So there was really no battle in the city itself. It was the outskirts, so north of Kyiv, and that's where we're fighting like the Asian Russians. So they weren't like. So you have to remember, there's Russians that are all different, different groups. But yeah, it was the Asian Russians that were fighting. They literally look like if I was fighting like a Japanese or Korean person.
Okay.
So they looked nothing like you'd say Russian, like typical Russian, because of the Mongolian descendants and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I did that. Did the Battle of Nikolaev. I did the Battle of Kharkiv. I did the Battle of Bakhmut, and that one was the worst of anything. Bakhmut was like the biggest battle of the war, and Alexandrivka I did, but that one was the worst for sure.
Now I know you told me you've been blown up 7 times.
7 times, yeah.
Now, how many times in Ukraine were you blown up?
It was 4 times, and then the rest were other wars. But yeah, Ukraine. The first time we got blown up, it went on media because on CBS News because they weren't. So I was one of my Ukrainian buddies got his leg blown off. They weren't. The Ukrainian government wasn't helping him financially, so he got his leg blown off, and they're like, "Well, you're on your own," because remember the war just started, so they know what they're doing, kind of still.
Especially when they're getting grabbed right off the street, thrown in a van, and here's a rifle, go.
Yeah, and so when he got his leg blown off, they weren't helping him. He's like, Rob, can you do an interview in American media for me? Because I didn't do it for interviews. You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, I'll help you out, bro. And so I did the interview with him, and they changed things in the interview, which is normal.
Of course. Well, there was, speaking of changing in interviews, before we started, there was something about a medic. There was screwed up in the news.
So,
wanted to clear that up too.
So
while we're
my
here.
medic, I want to make this clear. She's the best. She's awesome.
Combat medics are the shit.
They are the shit.
You don't fuck with a combat
not
medic.
Not at all. But yeah, what they did is the media changed the narrative, and I even heard what she said to them, and she goes, Rob Vardaro saved our lives. That's literally verbatim what she said. And none of that was added in the interview. And so what happened is, I'll tell you the real story. We get blown up. We get out of the vehicle.
Right?
What?
Was this landmines or IED?
Landmines. So there's anti-personnel and anti-vehicle mines everywhere. And the grass caught on fire, so you couldn't see where the mines were anymore. And there's like anywhere you step, there's like a mine. And anyways, there was one of our guys were in the vehicle. His jaw was hanging off, and his leg was gone. So we thought he was dead, but he caught on fire and started moving. So I'll be real here. Everybody said let's shoot him because it would be death to run to this vehicle because the vehicle is also shifting on top of mines. So, like, when you open the door, there's a mine next to the tire. Like, so, an anti-vehicle mine. And we already hit an anti-vehicle mine into a car. So, it was, like, one of my finer moments, but it's, this is what legit happened. I looked at them, I said, fuck you, you pussies. And sorry.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care, man.
Okay.
We're all good.
Okay.
I'm unfiltered, bro.
Okay, cool.
We're good, bro.
So I said, fuck you.
We're talking shop.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck you, you pussies. And I ran through the minefield, and literally I was like, I'm dead. I just, but it was like that, instinct kind of thing. So I ran there, and I grabbed him, I ripped him out. And my medic was, she's on the ground. Her foot's messed up because her foot was behind she was sitting behind him.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, another mine was under him and exploded as soon as I ripped him out. So I took shrapnel from that, and I get the blast from that, and my medic's like, part of the mine landed on me. Like, a mine landed next to me. I go, I know, exploded in my face.
Jesus Christ.
I dragged this guy myself, Vitali, to her, and then she started working on him from there. Wow. So I did all of it myself. The media then took this story, and this is the last part of it. So once again, mines are exploding. We're in a field of fire. There's mines everywhere. And we were in the Russian lines. And I told my guys, I was like, she would vouch for this. She actually said it in the interview. I heard her. She, and there's actually a Ukrainian interview where she actually says this too. So it's all legit. Like, I literally said, hey, I'm going to go first. If I step on a mine, at least you know where one is.
Yeah.
And I ran first and they all followed my footsteps out. And then so what the media did is they took that story, and what they did is CBS News, they changed it into a female empowerment thing. Once again, I love my medic. She's awesome, and I want to make that clear.
Yeah, nothing negative against her at all.
Yeah, but
of course,
she's
earned the right to be.
Yeah, she saved so many people. So she saved a lot of my
friends.
She's earned
that shit.
Yeah. So Vitali's alive because of her. You know what I mean?
Fucking A, dude.
So
he survived?
Yeah, he survived. So and one of my buddies got him a prosthetic that was in the Marines. So he's like, hey, I got this friend out in Lithuania that can get you a prosthetic because the Ukrainians were helping him at that time. So he got a free prosthetic. They did rehabilitation for him. He thanked me and everything. So with the situation with the news, they said the female medic ran through the minefield first, and then Rob came second. And I go, and I was like, dude, I didn't send my medic through a freaking minefield.
No.
And her foot's messed up too. I'm gonna send my crippled medic through a minefield.
What?
So you don't send your medic, the person that saves everybody, through a minefield.
No.
So no, I did it all myself. There was no one else helping me. Everyone was gonna shoot him. I didn't allow that to happen. And the only reason Vitali's alive is because I ran through it, but then he's also alive because she saved him. But the media was like, she went first, she saved his life, Rob came second to help out. And at the time I was like, that's cool. She wants to be a doctor, I don't care. But it's one of these things where media switches the narrative completely, even though they're told, because I heard her what she told them, because they interviewed her.
Yeah.
Changed it completely.
It's all selective editing.
Completely changed it to female empowerment situation. And once again, hey, she deserves the credit she deserves, but I thought it was crazy that they did that. I was like, wow, that's nuts.
Jesus. It was ultimately a team effort.
It was 100%.
I mean,
but once again, they just like they switch people around. They switch things that happen. They didn't include anything like that, like anything. I guess anything that made me kind of look good, they didn't include, and it I don't know why. Like it was nuts, and I was like, but everyone there knows what happened, and they're interviewing Vitaly in the hospital, who doesn't remember the event at all, and he's like, Alexa saved me. Yeah, she saved you. But I pulled you out, bro. And he knows that now because she admitted to him. She's like, yeah, I was going to shoot you, but like we didn't do it because Rob ran through the minefield. But once again, it wasn't like shooting him out of like spite or anything.
No, it's absolute
it's
mercy.
Because to put him out of
absolutely.
misery, he's burning alive in the vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. War is fucking hell, dude.
And there's no way to get to him. Like there was no way to get to him without dying. So like there were so many mines right there that it was literally suicide to do what happened there.
How the fuck?
Yeah, so, but, it was my mindset. But, like, I wasn't thinking, I guess, at the time.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, just try out adrenaline I've done before. So, yeah, that's what happened there.
Jesus Christ. When did you sign up? Because
the war started, so I was working on a film set, and the war started, and literally the next day I was, like, because I was advising for it. I won't mention the name because they got mad at me because I don't blame them.
Fair enough.
Because I was their advisor, and then I go, hey, I got to leave. And they go, you can't just leave our movie. And I go, well, I
kind of have
and
to.
they go, they did the whole spiel, you'll never work in the industry again, blah, blah. And I'm like, honestly, I was like, I don't care. My friend's family's freaking dead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go help my friends. Like, that's where my mindset went. So it wasn't like I'm just going to go to the war and fight. Like, you know what I mean? I had a personal situation there.
Now, when did you sign up for the Marines?
2007.
So what was their catalyst for that? Is that like a history in your family?
No. So what happened there is, I was born in Massachusetts, moved to the Marshall Islands when I was a kid. My parents were contractors out there.
Okay.
And basically, it's unfiltered, so I'll just be real. I got in some trouble when I was 12, and I got kicked off the island pretty much.
Oh my god!
And it's not bad. It's not too bad. It's like me and my friend broke into a house and stole a duffel bag of porno.
That's what you do at 12. Come on!
I literally got kicked off the island for it. So my parents had to quit their jobs. My brother was in high school. He had to leave high school.
Whoops.
Ruined all that. And I come back and I go, dude, my parents were like, we'll pay for your college. And I go, no, like I screwed up so bad. I don't want you guys to do that. I want to do this for myself, and for you guys and once again a war is happening at the time. So I go 2 wars at the time. So I'm like I'm going to do my part. And I go, well, I was going to join the Army, but then I saw my recruiter sucking up to the Marine recruiter, and I go, no, I'm going to go Marines now. And what ended up happening is I was like, well, it's a time of war, so I want to be able to help people in the front line. So it wasn't like I went there to kill people.
Yeah,
it was my mindset was being a medic. I could be stuck in like Lejeune or freaking just stuck somewhere not even deploying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm a corpsman, a Navy corpsman.
Exactly.
So I go, I would rather be infantry, so at least I'll be guaranteed to be somewhere in the front and be able to help out people.
Do something
that's like actually beneficial.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there. Yeah. And then I did my 4 years there, Iraq, Afghanistan, got blown in Afghanistan. And once again, and then I helped my friends out in Syria and then Ukraine happened. But that war was a completely different beast that like no one can imagine. So I had some Marine friends I served with. Like I wouldn't say like I was the best Marine. I was 19-year-old kid. So, but like some of the people I served with got mad at me because they made a movie called War Stuff. There's a movie that came out recently called it's about Navy SEALs and it's Warfighter or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely. Warfighter sounds familiar.
Whatever its name is. I don't know the movie's name. I forgot. But I watched it and I go, wow, we had it really good. Because we were basically the Taliban in this situation. At the time, all the air was controlled by the Russians. So it wasn't like we had air support going on.
Yep.
There was no help for us. And the amount of casualties and death were insane. I talked about the movie and I said, wow, we were really privileged in our wars. And some of my Marine buddies got really mad at me. Like they legit got mad at me and they're like, F you, blah, blah, blah. You don't care about our fallen brothers. And I go, dude, I do. I love our fallen brothers. Like, what's that to do with That's like me going, hey, World War II is rougher than Iraq. You know what I mean? Like, it is. You know,
All
we
of
didn't have to
it.
burst tanks. We didn't have white phosphorus hitting us all the time. We didn't have literally hundreds of people dying in a single day. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this was a different beast. And that's what I was saying is it wasn't insulting my fellow Marines or the Navy SEALs. I have Navy SEAL friends.
Exactly.
You know, what I was saying is like we had it good.
Well, it's like you take we'll just say Iraq. What was it? We'll say 20 years, and what are the casualties? Like what, 10,000 or less for us?
Less. It's like 3,000.
3,000
for I think for both wars together. Right?
And so it's
I
like
don't remember.
again, terrible
Yeah.
loss, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you were just looking at numbers on a piece of paper, I know I heard, I think it was on the Sean Ryan show, he had somebody on, he was talking like 1.2 million Ukrainian casualties.
No, literally.
And I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, so literally, when the war started, you have to remember these are people they gathered off the street and everything like that, and literally you would lose like, so we go out with like 200 people and like 20 of us would come back. So everyone's dead. There was bodies everywhere. And like even in the video, so did you see the video when I shoot the Gustav rocket launcher and you see it like shooting to the tree? I don't know if you saw
No,
that.
I haven't seen that.
So it's a
one.
recent video I posted comparing us versus the left. And and anyways,
Your videos are great.
So I was like shooting so we went to the Russian lines, and this is just an example. We go into the Russian lines, and I had to blur out a section because there was dead Russian bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
And our goal was to basically test the Russian, like, what's their reaction to us hitting this position, right? So we're testing their lines.
Gotcha.
You know, while inside their lines, we're like, how's the second line doing? We'll hit it. And then, so what ended up happening is, you know, I brought my Gustav, so it's basically like shooting tank rounds from myself. So I had an ammo man with me. And then we had guys with RPGs that were going to shoot RPGs into them, test them out. And then my other guy had, grenade launcher. And anyways, we hit their lines, and in one of my rounds, because we had drones, one of my rounds actually somehow hit their command center, and I was just shooting like randomly. So we hit their command center.
Shit luck.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. This just shows the casualty rates, right? So they thought we were doing a push when it was actually no push, because they weren't used to the Gustav rounds hitting them. So they thought like tanks were shooting at them. So like, oh, we have enemies coming into our lines. So what they ended up doing, and that's where you get the patch I showed you. That's from this group.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, we hit them, and we're like, all right, now we're gonna pull out because artillery's gonna start flying on us because there's drones everywhere. They see us. We're gonna get hit. So next thing you know, artillery's coming down, smacking all around us. We're booking it. Trying to get the next tree line. They're shooting. The Russians are just shooting through the trees as they usually, because they don't
Just
know where
blind
we are.
fire.
Yeah. And so you have random rounds flying. But anyways, our artillery started just blasting. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is artillery going this crazy? Found out that since they thought we were doing a push, they sent all their forces.
They were moving
They
forward.
moved their forces to that line. Our artillery killed 80 dudes in a period of like 2 minutes. They're all dead. 80 guys in 2 minutes. Literally 80 men dead in 2 minutes. Just because we hit the command center randomly and because of one. That's just one example. So, like, you know, and my job was to blow up vehicles every day. So I'd blow up vehicles nonstop, especially in certain areas like Bakhmut. Like, they would bring vehicles. Literally, my job, I just, like, because my Gustav rocket launcher is amazing. I had the M1, I had the first generation, and then I had I ended up getting a better generation. The first generation, you can't use so the second generation has rounds that will actually explode and send like shrapnel pieces down. They're anti-personnel rounds. They also have armor-piercing like vehicle rounds, incendiary round kind of thing. Sorry. And what ended up happening is, I was basically blowing up vehicles every single day. Like, I could take out a tank with a single round. Dang. So like when people are like, man, we should have gave them more tanks. I'm like, dude, I blew up tanks in like seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
Just need more of these.
Literally, yeah. Literally guys just camping there and just engage, and then we leave.
And we save money.
So much money. So that's how. So yeah, literally the casualty rates were so ridiculous. Like, anywhere you go, you would go through a graveyard, like pushing through a graveyard, and there's dead bodies just all over the graveyard. Like, everywhere you go, there's just dead bodies. And So it was nothing like I've ever seen before, and the drones were everywhere, so they know where you are at all times. So as soon as you start moving, artillery starts coming. So you have to stay in the tree lines. The trees are all mined, so your guys get their legs blown off, stuff like that.
Dude.
Yeah. So
How the fuck do you acclimate back to normal life after living like that?
the thing is, like with me, I'm gonna be real. It's probably from the blast injuries that like somehow I can disconnect from that stuff. So like it doesn't like like everyone's like, how did you run through the minefield? How did you do this? How did you do that? I'm like, dude, I just did it. I mean, like, and when I come back, I'm like, I have my daughter. I guess my daughter's the best thing in the world for me because she's my world, right? So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
just focused on her. But yeah, it was literally so I could separate like the war doesn't. I guess the death in the war doesn't bother me. I miss my friends like crazy because most of my friends in Ukraine are dead. So like almost all of them.
Sorry,
so yeah, and like my buddy Box, everybody's dead. Stag, everyone, Stinger, they're all dead. So it's one of these things where like it's the sad part is I couldn't help them, but once again, you don't choose. It's not like it's my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and that's how it played out. And so at first everyone was calling me at these protests a Putin lover.
Huh.
If you Google Rob Vardaro, Ukraine or Russia,
Yeah.
they sentenced me to prison there. So I'm actually sentenced in Russian jail without being in Russia.
You're just a wanted man.
I'm a wanted man
You're
in
a wanted
Russia.
man.
Yeah. So if you type in Rob Vardaro, Russia sentence, you'll see I was sentenced 7 years here. I was sentenced to another like 14 years hard labor. I have like 21 years on me, and I was kind of upset because I go, "That's it.
Damn, and you didn't
That's
even.
all I got."
And you
Like,
didn't even bring a vape.
I eliminated so many Russians. I only got 21 years. No, but yeah, that's how it played out. Yeah.
That. No, obviously, I was making a question regarding PTSD.
Yeah.
Recently, Trump signed what was it, an EO.
I think that's awesome. Yeah.
I was okay because I think that I know some people are like, well, psilocybin. It's like, okay, well, that's the woohoo one, but what is it? What's the one? What's the name?
I know exactly, but the same boat. Yeah.
It always ibogaine.
Yeah.
That's the real one that I've heard the studies on. That's really helping soldiers, law enforcement, even firefighters get past PTSD. And it's not a party drug. Like it's something you don't want to do.
No. I saw Joe Rogan talked about it, and he goes, "It is horrible, but it helps you so much." And when I saw him doing that interview, and I was just like fascinated by it, and I go, anything to help anybody out, that's perfect.
Exactly.
Like, I'll be real. I have more like PTSD from I guess my ex-wife than I do from the wars itself. I guess because I can separate the two more, but I guess when it comes to that with veterans who need it, I support.
Hell yeah.
110%. I feel it should be done because the drug situation in the VA used to be way horrible. They fixed a lot of it, but like when I first got there, they give like things like massive containers of drugs, and now they switched it to the exact amount you need.
Take this and call us when it's empty.
Yeah. So they switched it because a lot of people were then selling and doing other stuff with it or overdosing on it.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's how that played out.
And that was my thinking about the whole thing because I know you mentioned Rogan. He talked about a guy, like a friend of his who was addicted to opiates.
Yeah.
Simply because like he had back surgery or whatever. And I'm thinking, bro, if they could come up with this magical service of ibogaine treatment. So it's like, okay, if you're out on the street and you're using, okay, the first time you get Narcan, you're going into this treatment and you're going to be coming out. If 80% of the people get the treatment are no longer on crack, whatever, no longer suffering PTSD or whatever, why wouldn't you want to do it? Why wouldn't you want to help the people?
My one concern for the situation is, I only have one, is what will happen if the VA is like, well, he did this treatment, so now his PTSD is gone. We're cutting his funding on it, or his payments.
Correct.
So my concern is you have people that now like still
you're
have issues.
cured. It's like, no, it's not a cure.
Yeah, they'll say you're cured, but you're not.
No, it's a treatment.
It's a treatment. But I know how the VA system works, and they may be like, well, that's done now. You should be better.
Well, that's where you would have to really get on your senators and congressmen and legislators and say, you got to write some verbiage in this shit that, no, after this, it's still monitoring for X amount of years until a doctor says, I'm good, or no, he's going to need to be monitored for life, whatever.
Exactly.
No
That's
cutoff.
my concern is I don't want veterans being screwed, but at the same time I want them to get the help they need.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the thing. Like
22 a day is 22 too fucking many, bro.
Exactly. And
too many.
I've had friends that killed themselves, obviously. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of these things where, they need the treatment, but they also need to be like, we're not going to affect their funding because of the treatment.
Absolutely.
That's what they need to do. Because it's going to scare people away from wanting to get the treatment.
Exactly.
And that's what it will do. What you'll do is you'll have veterans that don't want to go because they're afraid that they'll lose any of the benefits they have, and then they're going to be in even a worse situation because they'll be thinking, I could get treatment, and I need it, but I'm scared to now.
Plus the stigma.
Yeah, the 100%, yeah.
Like, I'm a gamer, and there was one day I was playing a game and randomly got into a group with this guy. It was just me and him. And just his gamer tag had, something military.
Yeah.
And I just started talking. Yeah, he was serving. And yeah, he was telling me, yeah, he would like to go talk to somebody, but he's like, I can't, because if somebody finds out and then word gets around, and are these guys going to trust me? And then he's like, I want it, but I can't. I'm like, that is so bad, dude.
He's serving playing video games?
Yeah.
I'm saying, so.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but still, I'm like,
that's
okay.
the issue, too. I've heard, so I went to it. Like, I one time, like, back in the day, I went to a therapy group, and I'm sitting there, and this guy's like, man, I haven't gotten over when, like, that mortar round hit, like, about a half mile away or whatever it was.
In Battlefield 5?
I go, dude, really? Like, no, not you. I'm saying, like, the guy in particular. I was like, dude, you're complaining about a mortar round that hit, like, half a mile away? Like,
sounded
really?
like thunder, right?
Like, dude, yeah, you weren't near it. There was no risks to you at all. You heard a boom noise. That's it.
It wasn't in your face.
So I was like, that's messed up. Like, so that's what happened there. But
well, as Joe Rogan has also said, the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
So I try not to be like that, but at the same time, like, dude, like, because like you're taking a spot from somebody that should be there that's probably in the worst shape.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to disregard you as that, but like, dude, a mortar round hitting like that far away, like, dude, I mean, like, I'm not trying, once again, it's not that trying to be comparison, but you got to let somebody else in that spot.
Exactly.
I mean? So
it's just like, I hate war and combat. I would rather just sit and chill and laugh, but I love the military because there's always going to be douchebags that want to start shit, and you need bigger, not douchebags, but bigger people to push back.
Yeah.
And I forgot where I was going to go with this train of thought. I totally right off the rails. Totally forgot. Anyways, before we started recording, you were telling me that there was some people at a protest that you really wished you had recorded, but you didn't have cameras there because there was people barking.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that was great. Yeah. So the dog people.
I'm hoping to find that train again, but it left the station. Amtrak's
yeah.
gone.
No.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, there was people wearing dog masks and at this protest, and they were barking and stuff. And this is when I knew like how ridiculous all this was. Like even more in person, they were barking and they're like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And I'm like
adults,
grown adults.
At what kind of protest?
It was an anti-ICE protest.
So they're against immigration. Okay, and they're just
and they're wearing but you have to remember they all like
they're not
together.
Protesting animal control.
No, because they also have no king signs there, so it's like a mixture of everything. But
okay.
But they're like, Barbara. I'm like, dude,
you're not felines.
I got irritated because they're barking at me, and I go, you're not freaking dogs. And this woman comes up to me and she goes, excuse me, they're identified as dogs. They are dogs or whatever she said. She said they're dogs. I go, no, they're
something
not.
retarded.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not dogs. Like, dude, I'm not going to admit to that. And I go, you guys are grown ass people, and you guys are acting like freaking kids. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and that's when I go, this is absurd. This is all just insane. But when I went to every single one of them, they always are nuts. Like you have to remember these, like I was telling you earlier, like these people, they legitimately just hate anyone who's not them.
Yeah,
so they're in a cult.
Cultish, yes.
It's straight out cult. So basically what they do is,
I try to do, why can't we just get along? But then it's like, I can't.
No, because they won't let you.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. There's people like message me, and I've posted some of the messages.
I've seen some of those wonderful, happy people.
And some
they
people
need a hug.
Some people say, please don't post about this, but they go, I can't say who I am because I'll be kicked out. And when I talked to some of them, they were like, literally like this. Ready? This is how it's such a cult. So what they say is this: they basically make you excommunicate your family that doesn't agree with you. So if your family is conservative, they're like, they're bad people. Stay away from them. You have us, right? So what they do is they excommunicate their families, right? So now they only have this group, right? But then when they realize the group's messed up, they go, well, if they say something at all to disagree with the group shuns them and then tries to go at them.
They're out.
So they're out. Who do they have now? Nothing. So they get stuck in this cycle they can't even get out of because they're afraid. And they're just as afraid of a lot of conservatives. Like most conservative people are like, that write me are like, I would do what you do, but I'm afraid for my job.
Yes.
And they're like, I want to stand against this, but I'm afraid. And that's why you see so many when like Trump won, everyone's like, oh, I'm surprised Trump won. I'm like, I'm not. And I knew that would happen because you have all these people that are just afraid to speak their minds.
Yes.
And, so I was like, I'm just going to be like the ridiculous voice for them in that situation, but because I'm just sick of it. And this is the thing, like, they literally, because they know these people are so evil that they will go contact their work. They'll harass their work. I had people calling my lawyers and stuff like that saying, hey, we want him to go to jail. Like my lawyer told me that. They found out who my representatives were and contacted them.
Dude,
and
don't you have anything else better to do with your fucking life?
And they
get a job, dude.
The police had to talk to me because the police were like, "Hey, we're getting calls about you, about how like you're harassing people." And I go, like, what am I doing that's illegal? And they go, well, they said that you do illegal stuff, and then when we ask for proof, they say they don't have it. So the reason they don't have it is because I don't do anything. They have cameras on me all the time.
They're children. This sounds like children.
They're a bunch of children in a cult, and they're just all mentally unstable. Like I said, you'll have one person that's like wants to talk to me, right? Like a normal person. The other people will grab them and say, "Don't talk to him," and pull them away. And you'll see that in some of the videos, like the older videos. They will grab them and pull them away. And what they do is they follow me and they push, like they go next to me, right? So I go, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing you do. Then they start screaming. So they'll be like, "Don't touch me," and I'll be like a few feet away.
I saw that one woman yelling like Ric Flair. I'm like, what is she doing?
Yeah, like that's once again. I moved over because I thought she was like. I was like, oh, I don't want to block her from using her sign. I'll just move over.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, she's shoving her sign in front of my sign.
Fucking obnoxious.
And then losing her stuff and putting her sign on her head, making noises, making fart noises. And,
what the fuck?
Yeah, and a lot of
This is someone's grandma.
Yeah, and this is in the video. That's when in the video I go, someone get your mother. Like because I'm like, this is insane. Like, and a thing they do a lot is, one of my videos is called tongue lickers because they do it a lot because they stick their tongue out and they make a wiggly thing with it, like a snake. Yeah, and they do that with like just like that video you just mentioned. Like if you watch the video, you'll literally see her sticking her tongue out, going, and when she does her fart noises and that, and I go, wow, there's some patriotic Americans, and then there's this.
What is this?
Yeah, and once again, I just troll them like I like yesterday I said there's this one dude who once again, this is a descriptor. I'm not racist. There's this one dude that was black and he kept like following me around. So I called him the Grand Wizard of the KKK. I was like, oh, here's our Grand Wizard. Here's our Grand Wizard over here.
Is he getting donations from the SPLC?
He finally walked away because he was like, but before he was like, how are you allowed to do this? How are you allowed? I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna
stand around in public. I'm allowed to stand in public,
I'm allowed to stand in public and say what I want, like you guys do.
And you of all people, I think, have given up enough to earn that fucking right.
Once again, you have to remember, like, I have a video too where they spit on me. So I've been spat on, I've been punched. The news actually recorded it, and so I posted the video. So if you go back a little bit, there's a video of like some of my attacks on me.
Because didn't somebody break a camera or something?
Yeah, one guy smashed my camera with his daughter next to him, like his little kid next to him. And I'm like, dude, like, what's your mental? And he kept hitting me with his sign the whole time. And when I said like, I was on front, and this one guy was annoying me. I was like, look at that little girl over there. I was calling the guy the little girl and pointing at him. I didn't even know this dude had a daughter with him. He runs over, and his daughter's not even near me. So he just runs over, grabs me, and goes, "Don't you talk about my daughter." And I go, "Dude, get off me." I'm like, "What?" I was like,
Talking about you.
Get off the. No, I was talking about this other dude.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, I don't even know. Where's your? Oh, there she is. Sorry, I didn't notice the like 6-year-old standing there. When I'm surrounded by people,
And the dude's acting like this in front of a 6-year-old.
It'd be in front of his kid, yeah. And
she's probably more mature than he is.
Guaranteed. But the thing is, this is what his parents do, So he then took my camera, broke it. But yeah, like I was on the news for in New Haven. Like, so what happened there was, it was at Yale, the Yale protest where they did it at Yale, and there was all these people there, and I'm just there going, "Go Trump!" I had a Trump like 2028 hat or whatever. Anyways, so the news actually recorded. They go, "It was a peaceful protest. A Trump supporter with the Trump 2028 hat came, and they said he got shoved to the ground twice." So they show when they surround me. So what they did is they surrounded me to the building, and so I couldn't leave, and they all locked arms. So in the video,
that's
I'm like, "You're locked
kidnapping.
arms. This is ridiculous."
That's technically kidnapping.
So I go to try to get out, right, and leave. They shove me to the ground, and they start punching me in the back of the head. The camera crews are all filming it. So the camera crews, you literally see them surround me, but they cut right before they toss.
Oh,
but they say they knocked me to the ground twice. Yeah, but when they knocked me to the ground, in the video you hear me go, "Ugh," because I get punched in the back of the head too. So and then I tell the cops, "Hey, I come out," and the cops are like, maybe you should go over there. And I was the one that was assaulted.
It's easier to get rid of you.
Not just that though. The cops in that area. So I will say this directly: the cops in Yale University area, you all are horrible people, because they literally told me when the protesters were walking by, they're flicking off everything, going "F ICE."
Well,
F
yeah,
ICE.
I mean they let all that shit happen a few years ago.
The cops themselves are saying "fuck ICE." So I go, "No shit, they don't have my back." And there was this officer that came up to the one that told me to leave. She was like, "I don't even know how she's a cop." In the video, you'll see it. She's like half my height. She was a midget cop.
Oh my goodness.
And she's like, has this power trip going on. She's like, "Go over there." I'm like, "What am I breaking? What law am I breaking?" She goes, "Well, you're kind of disturbing them." And I go,
by breathing?
By literally saying "Go Trump." And I go, "Dude, like, they're the ones attacking me. They threw me to the ground. They told me to leave because I did." And I said no, because there's no permit. So I'm allowed to be there. And I go, "You know what? I'm going to go over here." And I go over there. And this one person comes over. It was a trans woman, and she was like, "How could you do this?" And she's like crying, and I'm like, "Dude, like, chill out, dude. All I'm saying is go Trump. You guys attacked me."
You're crying. This person's crying
about it, and it was like, dude, like,
we have a mental illness problem.
It's so bad.
In
and
this
the person's
country.
wearing a mask, and I was like, "You are wearing masks, okay?" And I go, "And you're complaining about the ICE wearing masks." And she rips off her mask. She's like, "You see me now? You see me now?"
Yeah, put it back on.
It's like she has facial hair and stuff.
Dude.
And I'm like, "Dude, what?" I was like, "Dude, I didn't ask you to take it out. I was making a point." But she was like bawling her eyes out. She's like, "How could you be like?" I'm like, "Dude, like, you guys attacked me." And she completely ignored the attack that she was there at. She was in the group that was locking arms. So,
of course.
Yeah. So I go, "You're in that group, okay?
Because you're one of them. You're part of the cult.
You're part of the cult." And that's what I've been dealing with these people. But once again, everyone's like messaging me, "Oh, be safe." I'm like, "Dude, whether you're gonna hit me, spit on me." Like, this woman walks up in the video. You see her. She walks up. I did slow-mo on it. She comes over, spits on me, and walks away. I'm like, wow, this reminds me of when veterans used to get spit on after Vietnam. Like, literally everything they're
I feel like Grandpa.
Yeah, I feel like it's literally everything they're doing is things that
same thing.
The same exact thing. You have to remember, a lot of these older people, they're the same people that would spit on veterans. Because I heard all of them are going, "Yeah, I used to protest Vietnam." So they're just doing the same thing again.
Yeah,
the same exact thing. They want to feel important like Vietnam.
They're indoctrinated by the same professors all through the years. Because communism's great. It works out. We just haven't done it right.
No one's done anything right. That's why, it's like, dude, these people, so that's the thing too, is like, these people haven't done anything their whole lives. I'm going to be real. You all are losers.
Yes.
You all are a bunch of losers that have never done anything your whole lives, and you want to feel important.
Get a hobby.
Yeah. So when they go
walking.
They go to me, they're like, "Why do you have a job?" And I go, "You're here too. Where's your effing job?"
I've put in my work.
I did my job.
I put in work.
What's your job? Barking at me? Like, no. And like,
no shit.
Like, you even see one of the videos when I did the homeless encampment? Dude, that was hilarious. So I go through this, in one of my videos, they're literally on the side of the bridge protesting, and it literally looked like a homeless encampment. One woman in the Connecticut neighbors group when I posted the video. She goes, "You're horrible. You should be giving them money, not letting them be like, not yelling at them."
They're not.
And I go, "You realize this was not a real homeless encampment.
This is a protest.
This is a anti-ICE protest." And they just look like a homeless encampment.
That's how they dress.
But she was like, she was like, "You're a horrible person. They're homeless, and you probably didn't get their consent to video them." Dude, they're not real homeless people. Just because I walk through a group of people that have cardboard signs that made them look homeless and they're dressed like it doesn't mean they are.
Just because they shop at Savers.
Yeah, but not one person. I want to make this clear. Not one person there was homeless. All of them had their cardboard signs. It just looked like a homeless encampment.
That is fucking.
But when their own people think it's a homeless encampment, and like that, you proved my point.
Yeah,
you proved my point.
It's like I have no problem with agreeing to disagree.
Yeah,
I felt
100%.
that way forever,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, we get along. I'm sure there's something that we disagree
100%,
on,
100%.
but I don't have to stab you over it or scream and yell and call you stupid names. But there's just some people they're broken.
Yeah, like,
They're just broken.
And there's things that people that won't agree with me on. Like, this is the thing. They're like I'll be real. I like Nick Fuentes and all those people. I think they're racist pieces of dirt. And then once again, these are people who haven't done anything their whole lives, right? So at least being a conservative, I can criticize other conservatives and be like, you're a loser who's never done anything, and you're literally grifting. That's all you're doing.
I hate the grifters.
You know, and like Candace Owens,
So-
she just switches with whatever the tide is, right?
you-
She hated Republicans at first, and then Republicans became kind of cool.
Did you see what Trump posted on
Yeah,
Truth
I
Social
did,
about
I
her
did,
yesterday?
yeah. And I
that
was
was
like,
beautiful.
It's true, though.
It's so true.
It's true. And with Tucker Carlson, he did a Tucker Carlson, like, once again,
Dude.
he makes shit up. So he goes to Russia, right? He goes to a shopping place, gets like $200 worth of food. He goes, "I got groceries for a week." First of all, he bought like the version of the Walmart brand of their groceries. Secondly, that's how much they make in a month.
Exactly.
So you're
Just-
not
a dirtbag.
you're not factoring in what Russians, how much they actually make.
Exactly.
So you're literally saying, "Here's a month worth of money, and I got basic groceries." And you're saying how well off they really are. And I go, "Dude, you're like such a propagandist at this point. It's insane." And like I had people like, I'm like, if people disagree with me, that's fine. But I know for a fact how much they make because I dealt with Ukrainians and Russians.
Been there.
Yeah. And so don't even start. Like, yeah, he bought a month's worth of groceries, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you know, this will help. You know, this is like, look how cheap this is." Yeah, for Americans.
Yeah.
You know, because we have it way better.
And that's a lot of places
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the 90s, somebody I knew, their parents were from Vietnam. They would fly back, visit their family
Yeah.
every summer. They're like, my dad he's like, my dad brings $1,000. He goes, we live like like kings
100%.
the whole week. And
100%.
granted, it's in the 90s, but still, he's like, yeah, we live like kings.
Well, even
I'm like, it blew my mind, 16 years old. I'm like, really? $1,000? Yeah.
even before the Ukraine war, I went to Ukraine, and it would be like you could get the penthouse suite at the
Hilton?
no, it was called Nemo Hotel, and literally you get to swim with dolphins included in the package at the hotel. And it was like $200, and you had heated floors, you had a jacuzzi in your room.
Dude.
It was like the biggest room I've ever been in, literally. And it's like $200, right? So it's like a month's pay for those people there. So it's like they save up and blah, blah, blah. It's like super fancy for them. But for me, it was like $200.
Exactly.
And I was like, and I got to swim with dolphins. I mean, like, so like,
Fucking A.
yeah. And yeah. So I'm also a big history buff. So the reason I liked Ukraine too is I liked Chernobyl. So, and that whole thing was so funny with the Russians too, because they were digging out the radiation. So they went into they went into the forest area where most of the radiation is. They dug out trenches there. And so when we got Russian prisoners, oh my God, they would be like, the Americans poisoned us. So they start killing off all the wildlife. So they're killing dogs. They're killing any animal they saw because they thought Americans poisoned the animals, and that's why they were getting
You're releasing
sick.
radiation, dumbass.
That's why they were getting sick. They didn't comprehend that, hey, we're digging trenches in radiation. That's why we're getting sick. So like these
learning history is important, kids. Stay in school.
I go, yeah, but it shows how stupid they are to dig trenches in the first place in radiation. Your people are going to get sick.
Yeah.
It's super dangerous there. You can't stay there for a long period of time. And it was funny because me and my buddy Tom, we went there like a week before the war, like 2 weeks before the war started, we went there to visit, and I took him to Chernobyl. We went to Chernobyl. We saw everything, and I was like, oh, this is cool, right? And then the war started, and I go, wow, those people are idiots. And then that's what some of the prisoners are whack though. Like some of them were saying like the Ukrainians didn't blow up their massive warship. They said that Americans attached bombs to dolphins, who then. And I didn't believe it at first, but then the guy started doing the hand gestures.
Oh my God!
And
universal dolphin hand gesture.
He said Americans sent bomb dolphins to blow up the ship, and it was Ukrainians who actually did it. And I go, dude, we didn't set. We have vehicles that would do that. We don't have freaking dolphins with bombs attached to them
drones.
anymore.
We have subs.
We have better stuff.
We have subs.
Not even subs. We have like water drones. You know what I mean?
Drones.
Like we don't need. We don't need to do that, but no, the Ukrainians were the actual ones who blew it up. So like it was just like they have such little respect for the Ukrainian people, the Russians, that they go, no, it can't be Ukrainian
because they're not that smart.
Because they're not that good. And that's the thing too, is like a lot of conservatives. Tucker Carlson made them think that, oh, Ukrainian this, Ukrainian that, like blah blah. I'll be real. They get treated like slaves by the Russians. Like the Russian prisoners are like embarrassed that they were captured, because they go, dude, like these are our property basically. Yeah. So like, because they're actually mad at them because they separated, when the Soviet Union broke up. So they're like, they consider Ukraine. So when they would I'd go into a city and there'd be women tied up and they'd be SA'd. So they'd just be tied up, destroyed, and then they'd be either like slash dead or whatever. And the reason they would do that is so that women couldn't talk about it. And they use that tactic as like the oldest tactic in the book. Yeah,
they did that shit after World War II.
Even before that, like even like back in the day, you essay everybody, and no one's going to fight against you because you basically took control. When you control them in that way, they're not going to fight back, because at that point they're just diminished. Yep. And so they use that as a major tactic. Once again, you don't see Tucker Carlson going, man, there's so many. It's not like one or two.
No.
You literally go to any place and you would see this. And, and they would execute people that, like, didn't agree with them. Like, people were shocked when they saw bonded, like, people. We found bodies of tied up Ukrainians, you know what I mean? Like, north of Kyiv. I don't know if you remember that, but right when the war started, when we pushed in, they're like, we found hundreds of dead Ukrainians, like, tied up. And I go, well, yeah, that's anywhere you go. They literally will kill you if you disagree with them. Yeah. They're not. So once again.
Yeah, they're not big believers in the First Amendment over there.
So when I hear, that's the thing, that's the one problem I have with some conservatives is they listen into Tucker Carlson, who knows, I'm going to be real, knows nothing about what he's talking about. And I hate to be the guy who's like, well, you haven't been there. I've seen those interviews, even on Joe Rogan. Well, have you been there? You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't care if you've been there. But the thing is this, when you then like go to the other country, but you don't go to this country, when they're next to each other, and then you go, this country's way better, even though I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's always two sides. Yeah. And plus, just read a book.
Yeah.
Look up history.
Like basic history, man.
I mean, not only war is hell, as in, the two-way firing range and explosions and bombs and shit, but it's the fucked up shit people do and are told to do and are allowed to fucking get away with.
And this is the thing, too. This is why I have issue with the left on this, is they keep saying, well, the Ukrainians can't give in to any like negotiations. The Ukrainians can't do this. I'm like, dude, you realize a whole generation's dead.
Yeah.
Like, what gives you the right to say they have to keep fighting if they don't want to? They're burned out, dude. A lot of these guys are just tired. All their friends are dead. All their family's dead.
They just want it over.
Yeah, and they go, well, the families, blah, blah, they escaped. The rich families were able to get away. If you were a farmer that literally only had your farm, like
you were grabbed up.
I have to say, the Ukrainian old women, oh my God, they are the most like toughest, baddest people ever, because there'd be mortar rounds coming down and she'd be I saw one working on her field. I'm like, you got to get inside. She goes, no, my friends. And I go, no, get inside. Like, and this mortar rounds.
It's just another Tuesday.
Yeah. But once again, like, it's not like she had money to leave. You know what I mean? So you either were close to the border or you had money to leave. And the issue now, too, is like a lot of these Ukrainian soldiers, their partners leave. They're gone for years. They find somebody else. So now you have these guys fighting a war that they're like all their friends are dead. Everyone's dead.
They got nothing.
And then their wives leave them.
They got nothing.
And they have nothing. They leave them with their kid. Like they have nothing. So,
decimated.
So, and these people are like, well, we just got to keep doing this. And
it's great to say that from the comfort of your couch, drinking a fresh, warm cup of Sanka.
And this is why when I see Zelensky and stuff give awards to like freaking our senators who didn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little something. I told I told them before. I said this on the radio, but I'll say it again. When the war started, I had to be talked to by the FBI and the military. The military actually interviewed me, and the reason was because when we left, ready for this? We didn't know where the weapons we gave them was going because they didn't want to seem as if we were helping them. So what they did is they brought the weapons to the border and started handing them out to people. And the issue with that is none of it made it to the front.
Oh, so just random people.
Random people were getting shit. And so when we had to get medical supplies, remember, I'm in the Ukrainian military. To get medical supplies, like, freaking, like, I had to get, like, quick clot for gunshot wounds. I had to go and literally buy them in back alleys with baggies. I had to buy them because people were stealing it and then reselling it.
Unbelievable.
And this is the thing too. We'd push through Russian lines. We'd find our shit. You know why? Because there were Russian separatists there in the beginning of the war. They were also grabbing the weapons. So like we're like pushing through the lines. It's like, here's a javelin, an unused javelin. Thank you. And then I'm like, thank God they didn't use it on us. You know what I mean? But but it was the Russians had it because they were handing out shit to random people. Most of the weapons used were weapons they had prior.
It sounds like Fast and Furious, for Christ's sake.
It was nuts. It's exactly Fast and Furious. And so when
you don't know what that is, look it up. Obama did it.
Yeah, he did. When I left, they're like, so yeah, because they had CIA and stuff there, but they didn't want to touch the actual situation. Because they're like, we don't want to get drawn into a war, seem like we are. But what you did is helped out both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just help out one side. So, I'm there. So when I got blown up in that vehicle, you see me, I don't have a helmet. We didn't have helmets. We didn't have anything. We had our rifles, and stuff like that, but we had no helmets. I had my own flak jacket. A lot of the guys didn't have plates. Yes. And this is at this point, it's 2-3 weeks into the war. And this is the front lines. And it's not the Ukrainians' fault that's in the front lines. It's because America we're going to help you, but we're not going to. And where did the money go? So we gave millions of dollars to, ready for this, COVID help to Ukraine during the war. You know what the funniest part was? No one wore masks. You know why? Because we're in a freaking war.
Yeah, you didn't matter.
We did not wear masks. No one was doing that shit. So the COVID money, where did it go? Because I'm not like, hey man, we gotta protect this building. It has 26,000 masks. You know what I mean? Like where did the money actually go? Oh, your camera fell.
That's okay. Not using that camera.
Okay, so
we're good.
So that's what happened there. So there was a lot of money
Great
going.
logistics.
Where's it going? And that's the thing.
A lot of laundering.
And exactly. And the issue is, it's and so once again, it's like I said, I love my Ukrainian brothers. But you're screwing over my Ukrainian friends. That's why I say this stuff, because I'm sick of people being like, oh, we donated all this stuff and blah blah. Yeah, a lot of it didn't get to the front, or a lot of higher ups are holding on to it for themselves. So one higher up had 6 javelins. He wouldn't give to his troops. He wanted them for himself,
dude.
And we would take our building would get hit with mortar rounds. Guess what he would do? Our command, we'd be like, where's our command? Where'd our command go? They went into the basement and didn't tell anybody. So we're all in the building. They went into a basement we didn't know about.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And hid out in the basement.
Thanks.
Yeah. So and this is the beginning of the war. So there's a lot of confusion. These commanders have never dealt with this before. They did the earlier one with, the airport and stuff when the, war first, the 2014-ish area. But, under Obama when they invaded, Obama didn't do anything.
Yep.
But yeah, that's how that played out. It was everything was nuts, man. The amount of war crimes Russia has done is insane. They shot white phosphorus at us all the time. One of my buddies I was telling you outside.
Yeah, please explain what that does.
Yeah, we got hit by white phosphorus, so I was getting gassed out. So I jumped out of my trench. And by the way, I gotta say this, white phosphorus is possibly one of the most beautiful things to ever look at coming down, but it's the most deadliest stuff ever. Deadliest shit ever. It's just like metal pouring through your body when it touches you. But when it comes down, there's no escaping it because it expands when it comes down. So it's like streams that come down.
Oh, Jesus.
So I hear my buddy screaming, Rob, Rob. He's like, in pain. So I run over, and literally he's caked in it. It's pouring through his body. And literally pulled out his pistol, blew his brains out in front of me. I was like, dude, like shot himself in the head. And I was like,
Fuck.
dude. And, and like those kind of things hit me hard because, or like, like buddies who are about to leave the war, but then they have like one last mission and they get killed on that mission. And that happens a lot. So like, once again, this goes back to when I criticized like, the movie I saw. I go, we had it good. We weren't experiencing this. We weren't seeing, this is not the same thing. And the amount of, like, you can't go anywhere without drones seeing where you are. Like, literally, it's like, I hear a drone, I go, oh, here comes artillery. And next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. And it's not like once or twice. It's nonstop. It's nonstop artillery. So a lot of American volunteers that came over, they would run away. So what they would do, beginning of the war, like all the veterans, I'm going to say this, you veterans who went over there and then ran away like little pussies, I'll be real, you're scumbag because you're literally risking people's lives. Yeah. Because what happened is a bunch of veterans went over there and they've never dealt with this stuff. They've never been shot at with tanks.
Different war.
Yeah, they never had artillery blow them up, So literally they would run away and take their shit off and throw it and run. These are veterans of
fucking
our
deserter.
Wars. Our wars. They would run. So I'd see like American flag, combat action ribbons on their stuff, and it'd just be on the ground. I'm like, where'd that guy go? And go, oh, he ran away. He just left. Like all of them left, and then like me and the three of my friends are the only ones there. Like with these Ukrainians, you know what I mean? And they had a group of like 20 Americans. Jesus like you Christ. All are pansies, dude. Don't go to a freaking war and then run away like a coward. Either you fight or you don't. You know what I mean?
Nut up or shut up.
Yeah. So that's how that. So yeah, that was a big issue in the beginning of the war. These veterans going there, and then they never dealt with this, and they're like, wow, this is because literally you have to remember we were the Taliban in Ukraine. We were the ones literally in the tree lines while Russians were swarming around us. They had a bigger force. Mm-hmm. They had more stuff. Yet we were able to hold them off. Why? Because the Russians were so suicidal. Like Bakhmut. Have you ever seen The Pacific? It's a HBO show.
Yes.
So remember when the Japanese would run in like lines and just get mowed down? That happened there with the Russians. They would send, basically they were testing our positions. They would send a horde of like Russians. And I was dealing with the Russian mercenary group over there in Bakhmut. So they would literally they were all like former prisoners that they would take out of jail to fight, and they put them in the front, so they're already guaranteed death. And if they try to leave,
they're just cannon fodder.
So what they do is
meat grinder.
It'd be wave after wave of dead Russians. So like you'd be sitting there with your machine gun just unloading on them, and literally like you would kill. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I've personally eliminated so many Russians I don't even know. Like I stopped counting hundreds in, like because it's literally 8 guys in a vehicle. I blow up the vehicle, they're all dead. I do that 3-4 times a day, every single day. So and literally it's just body parts flying. If anyone's alive, we just mow them down, or But because the thing is too is like the prisoners, like we take as many as we can, but a lot of them they'll like take out a grenade and like throw it at us. One of them, dude, oh my, he killed his own fellow prisoners. We're in a trench, and he said he surrenders. So we had like 3 prisoners with us. We were tying them up and stuff like that. We already cleared out the trench. We had one guy left. We went over to him. He's like, I surrender. Took out a grenade, threw it at us. While we had the prisoners with us, so what do we have to do? We can't just pick them up. We just jump, right? Blew up his own guys, killed his own guys. And then we obviously lit him up. But the point is, he killed his own guys, accidentally trying to kill us. And those guys legit surrendered. We were trying to make sure they were taken in because that's how we get trades. You don't want to kill your prisoners.
No,
because the reason is they're not just your information. They're also the people to trade for your guys.
They're a bargaining chip.
Exactly. So but the guy didn't intentionally do it. You could tell he like realized he effed up when he did it,
and then he found out.
Yeah, and then he found out. But the thing is like, but yeah, so like this is the bloodiest shit since World War II. Like legit. Like nothing compares. I don't care what you say. The amount of death there is insane. Like it's all everyone's dead.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's literally just like when they say meat grinder in Bakhmut, the life expectancy was I think they said 15 minutes. I was there for 2 weeks, so yeah, and literally like there was not a building left there. It was a beautiful giant. The city was known for like their flowers and all this beautiful stuff. It's all gone because everything got destroyed, and that's where we did the most like close quarters combat ever. Like literally you'd be like people were fighting hand to hand. One of my buddies that has a video that he actually did hand to hand, like fighting with a Russian. And the Russian tried to stab him with his knife, the Russian's knife, and he got the knife away from the Russian and stabbed him to death. So it's literally hand-to-hand combat there.
Brutal.
And it was insane. Like anywhere you go, there's a Russian trying to engage you. I'm gonna say the Russian special forces, they suck. I'll be honest, they're not good. I eliminated them so fast. Like they were even worse than the prisoners. Like, but yeah, like I can't give them props at all. But they must have been like the backups at that point because the other ones are all dead. But yeah, like when I got shot, like I'll tell about that. Like I was in Bakhmut, and we're literally one of the first areas when you come into the city. And I had a squad, so I had some guys under me, and I was a squad leader. So and then we had another squad in another building. Anyways, it was nighttime. And there's a field in front of us, right? And then the Russians are there, but we keep going back and forth, whatever. So it's nighttime, and one of the squads is like, "Hey, another some of the squads were like, "Hey, let's go over there and let's go to the Russian, mess with them, and come back." And I'm like, "Dude, it's just a field there. Like you're going to die." And they're like, "No, let's bring our guys." And I said, "I'm not bringing my guys." And I said, "Because they're gonna die." And it's literally a suicide mission for no purpose. And they basically called me a pussy for it. And then my guys were like, "Let's go with it." I'm like, "No, let's not do this." Anyways, they go in. Within like 5 minutes, you hear gunshots going off. They're radio silent. They're all dead. And my guys were like, "Okay, thank you for not sending us." And this isn't the first time this happened. Another time they wanted to grab one of my guys to go on a patrol. And they go, "Where are they going?" And they go, they're going here into the Russian lines. I go, "When was the last time they were there?" "Yesterday." And I go, "Well, the Russians know where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not letting you have one of my guys." And he was an American. And I go, "You're not taking my American guy." And they got mad at me about it, but they're like, "Fine, we'll do it ourselves." Literally, the Russians already pre-planned an ambush because they knew they were coming back there. So they all died. They all got killed. So the American was like upset at me at first, and then afterwards he's like, "Rob, you're the best. You're the best."
He fucking saved my ass,
life.
bro.
He was literally, they all died. So,
Jesus Christ.
so what happened when I got shot was, anyways, they're all dead, and it's we have thermals, so we're scanning with our thermals, and what ended up happening is, the camera. I saw
it's all right.
I saw like some Russians coming across the low crawling like it's like a video game. And
some COD action.
Yeah, there was like 6 guys right by our building, and they were about to stack up on our building. So I was like, I told my guy that was in the roof was like blown up pretty good, but he had like, because of the holes, he could just throw a grenade down. So I was like, "Hey, get your grenade ready." I just laid down with the machine gun, and they lined up on the door to stack in, and my buddy just threw a grenade, and they had a grenade like land right in front of them. And they're like, "Oh!" And then they run into. So 3 like ran to.
It was the meme.
He killed 2 of them outside, and 3 ran in. I just unloaded on them, and they just died right there. Anyways, we hear gunshots close by us in the other building, and I go, "What the fuck?" And so we go, "Hey, let's go check on our guys. We're trying to get radio contact with them. We can't get radio contact with them." We go to the building, and there's a window there, and I can look through it. And when we're looking through, you can see like our soldiers were all asleep. They were all sleeping. They're all just dead. So they were like killed in their sleeping bags and stuff. And the Russians are clearly still in the building. I've been to this building a few times already. So I know there's only one exit this way and one exit this way. And that's where all the dead Ukrainians are, But where the Russians are, there's no exit. So I said, "Hey, let's go in and throw a grenade." So we go in, and literally they I don't know if it was like the most malfunctioned machine gun or the worst shooter ever. But when we came around the corner, I had the grenade, and I was tossing it in. And when I was tossing it, the guy lit us up, and I got shot, by my groin area 3 times. My buddy next to me got shot in his shoulder. But then they're like, "Oh no!" And then we're yelling, freaking, like suka, call them bitches and stuff. And boom. And I didn't even realize he got hit. I'll be honest with you. There's so much adrenaline going. And I felt pain, but I was like, dude, anyways, I was bleeding out pretty good. So I had to leave, and, I got taken out. And like a week later, all my guys I fought with were dead because they freaking got killed in the fighting of Bakhmut. Bakhmut was the deadliest stuff ever, but yeah, that's what we dealt with there. Like it was just nonstop. You did hand-to-hand combat, you did all that. It was so when I go, and once again, I love my veteran friends, but guys, it's not the same war. It's not the same war. And when I hear Tucker Carlson saying stuff like, this like the Ukrainians are Nazis. Okay, here I'll just tell you a funny story quickly, if that's okay.
Of course.
There was a belief that Ukrainians were Nazis. So some Nazis from country, like Nazi wannabes.
Oh, that was the certain group.
It's Azov.
That's it.
I fought with Azov.
Gotcha.
I'm not a Nazi. So Azov thought these people were ridiculous. So I suggested to Azov, I said, how about we just put them like in the front? So like they're just cannon fodder for us because they were just idiots, and we end up like getting rid of all of them. Like
leave it there. Yeah, it's fine. We're good.
The thing is this: they were like, so these so when I was coming back, like I was getting questioned. Do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? I go, oh, that guy, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, that guy. Like, I'll be real. I don't know if it's considered being a rat or not, but if you're a guy who literally just talk like is a straight not literally saying you're a Nazi when you're not, and like even if you are, I don't care. I think you're an idiot. I think white supremacy is freaking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So like I grew up on a military base. My friends were all different colors.
Everybody.
Yeah. So like it's pigmentation, dude. That's what irritates me. So
yeah.
So
you're either an asshole or you're not.
I was like, they're like, well, we arrested this guy when he came back. What do you know about him? I was like, oh, he said Nazi stuff, but then he ran away like a bitch. And then they're like, okay, cool. So
then he ran away like a bitch.
So like, and that's the truth. They're all these dudes that try to act hard, but then they show up and then they're like, oh, I'm Nazis. And then the people there in Azov are like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like we had a Jewish guy with us fighting like in Azov. We had a black dude fighting in Azov. Like so they're
the worst racists.
They're the worst
ever.
racist ever. They are so racist. They have all races. So like so yeah. So we had a black guy with us. We had a Jewish dude with us, and I was like, dude, no, like
guys, you know what'd really throw them off? We had a couple of black guys here.
Black
blow
black
their
and Jewish
minds.
people. Yeah, so
Jesus
it was just nuts.
Christ.
Man. That whole war is nuts.
That whole thing is just. I just want it over. Like before. I think when Trump announced he was running again, he just was like, I just want everybody to stop dying.
Yeah.
When that CNN lady gave him that loaded question, he just zagged so good. But he's right. I just want everybody to stop dying.
I just want to stop. And the thing is this, too, like...
I don't even have a dog in the fight.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
You have to remember, though, too, like the Russians, when they take over an area, they also put their own people in there, right?
Yeah, they take over.
So the area there is no longer Ukrainian. You don't have Ukrainian civilians hanging out there now. The ones that argued are dead, and there's a lot of also the area they took. A lot of them, some of them supported Russia, some didn't. The ones that didn't, they went missing. The ones that did, they got to stay, and then they brought more Russians in. Crimea, that's a Russian vacation. You know what I mean? Like they used to be, and they were pro-Russian there in the first place. And so the thing is this: where do you draw the line?
Yeah,
because and I received criticism because I was like. I got pissed off when I see Zelensky handing awards to our senators who literally let all my friends die and didn't help us out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are cowards. You guys would only bring stuff to the border and wouldn't help us. And you're the same person that tried to get me arrested, yet you're getting awards from Ukraine when I'm the one that lost all my friends.
Yeah.
You didn't lose anything in this fight. You literally only gained money off and everything, Like it's so freaking horrible. Yeah.
He sacrificed nothing.
He sacrificed literally nothing, and he feels like arresting me was a good cause.
Well, that's because Chris Murphy's a fucking
Murphy's
scumbag.
So, yeah.
I don't know how you go through all that, man. I don't know how you deal with all that, man.
Yeah, it's one of these things.
It's crazy.
Like the thing is, like some of the stuff would sound unbelievable, but once again, unbelievable. But there's video stuff of it.
Exactly.
You actually see an interview with the guy that got his leg blown off in it. So there's actual stuff. So it's like, but once again, like if I tell the story, people would be like, "That's not even possible." I'm like, "Oh, there's video of it."
Yeah, here's proof.
Here's proof.
Look.
So yeah. So like yeah, it's just insane.
No wonder why a lot of these people don't really get under your skin too much.
They don't
when
because,
you're out
because they don't
all
know
the shit you've seen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone's like, "Are you nervous about these people?" And I go, "No." I go, "This is the thing. Someone comes at me with a gun, I'll just take them down." You know what I mean? And I won't even do anything. I will literally tackle them so they get to experience all of jail's greatest things.
Yeah.
But the thing is this: they're all a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of old people or mentally delusional people. All right, you're gonna have like some people that are like, you're like the one that kill a public speaker. That's like 1 in a million people that are gonna do that. You had that weird guy who goes, "I fought in Ukraine," who never actually saw any combat in Ukraine, and then he's like that. He's once again. Those Instagram people, a lot of these people would like go up to blowing up tanks that I blew up, right? I remember one time.
The stolen valor.
Straight out stolen valor. So
I
remember one
hate
tank
that.
I blew up, right? I know the exact location, the exact thing. These people went there a week later and videoed it and were like, "Hey, look, we just blew up this tank." I'm like, you
motherfuckers.
I blew up that a week. We're like miles ahead now. Like, what the fuck? Like, but I saw the video. I go, "No, you didn't.
No.
That was my tank. I remember the exact spot because I blew it up myself." So, but yeah, it's just nuts.
One of the recent videos I saw you, I didn't see the whole thing. I started dying in the beginning. I was at lunch at work. You had green hair.
It was pink hair. Right?
Pink hair? Yeah. Did you dye your hair?
No. So I got. Dude, I'm not gonna dye my hair for these people.
Okay,
so,
you're like infiltrating.
Yeah. So what I do is I get like washout hair stuff.
Okay.
So I put it on, making myself look like an idiot, and it works because I look like them. So they all think when I show up, they're like, "Oh, he's one of us." If it's a new area, like that spot was new. These people didn't know me. So like, "Oh, thank you for coming." I'm like, "You're welcome." And then they saw my sign and they're like, "Wait a second." And that's when they lose it. And then when I start saying like I just say facts about them, right? So I say things like, "Hey, you guys voted against the Civil Rights Act." So I act like one of them. We voted against the Civil Rights Act, and it's true. And then
we started the KKK.
Yeah, we started the KKK. And they tried to do the thing, well, we did the switch. I go, out of all the people who voted against the Civil Rights Act, only one Democrat switched to Republican. One. All the rest stayed Democrats. How many Republicans switched to Democrat? 0. So no, stop with your garbage switch shit. You know what I mean? That's not what happened there. The racists stayed racist. One guy switched out of like 20 something.
One saw the light.
Yeah, I don't even know if he saw the light. He probably saw the light with like, "I'm going to lose this election."
Exactly. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Saving his ass.
Yeah. So, but once again, it was one of these things where I'm like, there's no switch. You guys are the same thing. You guys are the exact same thing. You literally censor speech. You literally try to send people to jail who didn't do something. You make up lies about them doing it. You literally take the most vulnerable people. So you literally take the people with mental health issues. That's what they're doing. All of the people there, they're senile or they have mental health issues if they're younger. And they take these people and they use them.
Yes.
And it's disgusting.
Yes.
They literally grab people with mental health issues and basically say, all those people are evil. Did you see the video with the daughter?
The little girl?
So,
yes.
So, yeah.
Disgusting.
But at the end, you hear, so I didn't want to be like too close to the kid. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But out of respect for the child. But
absolutely.
But when she gets to me, if you listen close, she was like, "Yeah, that's the kind of bad man I was talking about." You hear her say that at the end of the video if you watch it again.
The mother, yeah.
Yeah, the mother. The reason she said that is she was going through and saying, "Yeah, Republicans are evil. They hate us. They want to kill us." That's what she was saying. And all the elderly people there were going, "Yeah, it's true.
They're
it's
cult.
true.
You're indoctrinating that
but I'm
poor
like,
kid.
I was even more mad at those old people because I was pissed. Because so when she finally got to where I was at, and they're like, "Don't talk to him." And I go, "Yeah, I don't want to talk to you." I was like, "You're a shit mom."
Yeah.
Like, I told her straight out. Like, I don't like to criticize a person in front of their child, but you literally just said, you went through everyone saying they want to kidnap people. They're all evil. Our president is a sexual predator. She's saying this to literally, she even says, my daughter's 4, a 4-year-old. In the video, she says it. A 4-year-old child, you're saying this. The daughter's like looking around trying to get away and just have fun.
She's 4.
She's 4. The daughter even waved to me when they drove by at the end.
Yeah,
but the mom's like, I was like, "You're a bad mom." That's what I said first. And she's like, "Excuse me, I didn't ask for your opinion or whatever." I said, "No, you're like, I'm be real. I don't care. You're a shit mom."
Yeah.
Like, because you are. Like, dude, I don't care what side you're on. You don't do that. You don't take your kid to a protest, go through every sign saying the other side's evil.
Yes.
you yourself are in a cult at that point.
Yes.
And you're indoctrinating your child. And she's like, oh, my daughter's name is Rey based off Star Wars. Like, I go, okay, we're in trouble here because now you should name your kid. Like, once again.
She's a Prada kid.
Yeah, but once again, adorable kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Innocent, adorable kid. And you're freaking doing this to her. And all these old people are agreeing with it. And all these people, once again, there's senile old people that wish they miss protesting the Vietnam War.
Yep.
And then
they missed the good old days when weed was weak.
Yep. And
the colors were brighter.
Yeah. And and mentally ill people that take advantage of. Because think of it, they're all mentally ill. They're all mentally ill.
And they're bored.
They are. And once again, they have nothing in their lives. Yeah. And they literally, this is all they have. And all they do is just say how this person's evil, this person's evil. When I say, hey, well, this happens. How about the fact that I brought up in the last video? I go, I was like, I did my song. I was like, we're the KKK. And I go, hey, we had our nonprofits donate to them.
Yes.
No one disagrees because it's true.
It's true.
So they don't disagree. They just don't care.
Yeah. They hate you.
They hate you.
They hate you.
They hate you as a person.
It's just like this shit going on in Connecticut. I've talked about, the homeschooling and then the vaccinations that could, some appointed jagaloon that who nobody voted for to tell you what you have
to do as a parent.
And so many people showed up and were against it. And it's not even a party thing. It's whoever's there hears 2/3 of the people saying, no, we don't want this. And they're like, yeah, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and the problem, too, is...
regardless of what it is, it's like, go fuck yourself, dude.
100%. Like, screw you. And the thing is this, like once again, like, they are the people preaching my body, my choice.
Thank you.
And yet, they want to put everything in your and your child's body.
Yes.
Like, screw you guys. Like, that's yours. All they do is hypocritical bullshit.
Yes.
Like, how about this? February, right? How about Black History Month? How much did you actually hear about Black history? No, it was about illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Because Black people, they don't care about. No. I'll be honest. They
lost that voting block.
They used them.
Yep.
They used them like they did back in the day as slaves.
Yes.
And they're like, we can't use them anymore, so we're now moving to illegal immigrants.
Yep.
And this is the thing. A lot of that's the problem. So, once again, they just show how they haven't changed.
Correct.
They just, once again, they're like, hey, we're gonna make it so you get more benefits if you're a single parent.
Yep.
So they break up the Black families.
Yes.
And
one of the most devastating things ever in the Black community.
They were back in the early 1900s. They were still close knit when they're getting their freedoms and stuff like that. They were close knit.
Yes.
But then they're like, "Hey, we'll give you benefits only if you're not with the dad."
Yep.
And so you have all these broken homes, destroyed the Black community.
Yep.
Inject
the drugs.
Allow
the crime to happen.
Yeah.
Allow the violence to happen.
And then make nonprofits to counter these things so they can give money to the nonprofits, but nothing ever gets fixed.
Correct. Just like the homeless problem.
Look at California. Look
at Skid Row.
So in my video of the homeless guy, did you see that one?
No, I did not.
It was during the No Kings protest, the day of the No Kings protest, the morning of the No Kings protest. Homeless guy drugged out of his mind in the middle of the street. And ready for this? People were flying by them with their No King signs. So they're driving by this guy, this homeless man, in the middle of the street. And you see me like, dude, get up. I was filming myself, and then I just noticed this homeless dude in the middle of the street. So the video's not like really that good, but you can see the homeless guy there. And I'm like, he's in the middle of the road. And it's a busy road. And I'm like, dude, get off the street. And I was like, you got to get your blanket. And I go, oh, he's going to get killed getting his blanket. So I went out and got his blanket for him, And there was people
and they're the compassionate side.
They were walking by with their signs. No one helped. Not a single person. Nope. I was the only one that helped this guy. It's in video. Not a single person went to help me. No one.
Well, it's just like when they protest, the climate. It's like, when they all leave, look at what's left behind. Yeah. Nobody cleans up after themselves.
Yeah, do you remember the Oscars?
Yes.
They all preach about being, we're all... You left so much shit for someone to clean up, you dick.
Yes. You fucking elitist cunt.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then you got all
you can't pick up your own thing.
And then they're like, hey, you got these people oh, hey, we want to protest climate change. You then fly in private jets.
Yes. Shut up.
Because dude. You are the hypocrite. It's like anyone else, like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
we need to do stuff for climate, but I won't.
Yeah, it's like I don't care.
How much energy does your massive home take?
Yeah,
You know,
Al Gore. How
about
many
you
acres
flying
do you
to
own?
These things?
It's
And they go,
like-
well, we're doing it because somebody. Oh my God, another insulting thing to the black and colored community. I will say this is horrible. Literally, I'm at these protests. I go, where are the people of color? Where? In one of the protests, I was like, I want to thank all the people of color here, white, because there's only white people there. And they come over to
They're
me. And
awfuls.
they go, the reason is because we have to do it for them because they can't do it for themselves. That's what they tell me. I go, you are racist as shit.
Holy shit!
That's literally what they tell
Exactly.
me. You are racist. You're saying they're so stupid. The people of color, just because of pigmentation, you're saying they're so stupid that they can't do things themselves. You are a racist dirtbag.
Yeah.
You are a racist piece of dirt. I don't go over and go, hey, that guy doesn't know how to get an ID. He's black. You know?
I was just gonna say
Like,
about ID.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
No, dude. Like, you're so insulting. You literally are saying
Fuck.
you have to be the white hero.
The white
because,
knight.
Because these poor people don't know how to take care of themselves.
These poor ignorant black folk don't know how to spell.
Exactly. Like, it's the most racist crap ever.
Yeah.
And when I see black people honking for them, I go, dude, you're honking for this shit? You're honking
They
for
hate
people
you.
who literally think you're stupid.
Yes, they think you're dumb.
They think you're dumb, ignorant people. And it's so crazy to me. I'm like, dude, the most racist people, like when I was in South Carolina, did you see that video when they said the N-word? I'm not going to say it.
No,
I don't say it.
and please don't.
I wouldn't, because I don't say that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, because even in the video, I go, you said the N-word.
It's like, dude,
I
what
say
are you-
you say the N-word. I don't say it because I don't.
Exactly,
to me,
you
even
don't
in rap
say it.
songs, I don't say it.
Is that
You know.
you Milli Vanilli?
Yeah. So this I'm there, and this guy goes, the one of the protesters is like, instant video. He's like, so do you think all black people are N's? And I go, no. And he goes, well, you're a white N for Trump. You're a white N. And I go, dude, you're
Wow.
racist as crap. And the woman next to him goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. It's in one of my videos. You can watch it.
You're all
I
nuts.
go, you guys are so freaking racist.
Y'all are related, huh?
Yeah, and I went over to there's a hospital woman there. She's like, I came here because I saw you standing over here. And it's funny though, because I had a bunch of if you look, there's some people, some black conservatives wrote, and they're like, wow, you got to come to my place in South Carolina because they're racist as shit here. Because I literally called them out.
Rob's most racist viral videos.
There was a nurse there, and she goes, well, they are just like you. And I go, what the freak? So I even say in the caption, this woman said it too.
What the
But
fuck?
yeah, but they literally said like, you're an N for Trump. Only black people but they use the hard R also.
Oh.
So I'm like, he uses it daily. He uses it all the
This
time.
is the vernacular.
This is what
common
he says.
vernacular.
Yes. He didn't throw an A in there. He said it so casually.
Wow.
Like, yes.
Like ordering a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
wow.
And when but the thing is, like, you have a black conservative, the amount of racist stuff white people say to them is insane. But the problem is, the black Democratic community then goes, well, it's okay because they're conservative.
He's another. He's not one of us.
And I go, dude, you're allowing somebody to call somebody else this thing. Like
The most vile
thing they can do, and you're okay with it just because you don't agree with their politics.
Then I guess we all can't get along.
Yeah, and I go, dude, like that's the thing, like, yeah. So it's like, dude, no, that's never acceptable.
No,
that's never acceptable. So like in the video, I'm like, he said the N-word. He said the N-word. Like, what? And then they called the cops on me.
Well, of course.
Yeah, the cops show up, and he goes, has he touched anybody? And he goes, well, the guy's like, well, I don't know. And I go, I have it on video. I never touched anyone. He's like, okay, yeah, he probably didn't touch anybody or whatever. And then I told the cop, I was like, dude, they're saying the N-word. And the cop's like,
yeah, they do that.
yeah, like, but I appreciate the cops at least letting me still protest, because sometimes they don't. So,
yeah.
Because another place in South Carolina, they kicked me. They actually gave me a ticket for a selfie stick. Because I had my selfie stick with
You
me.
can't have a selfie stick.
No, well, they got mad at me because I was in the group, and the group got mad at me, so they called the cops.
Possession of possible weapon.
But in the video, you see them say, hey, we have a permit for this. I go, no, you don't. And they go, show me the permit. Another guy in the thing guy goes, you guys, just the lady just said you had a permit. And he's like, we don't, but you shouldn't be here. And he goes, I served in the Army. And he's holding a Captain America shield.
Oh,
and
Captain America shield?
Yeah, and I go, dude, you never saw combat. That's what I told him. I was like, you are a boot who's never saw combat. He's like, I saw it. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No combat veteran who actually did shit in the military would be wearing a Captain America shield saying, boo to ICE. Like, none of them would. Like that guy, the I don't know if you've seen him, the ginger dude, the Jolly Ginger or whatever.
No.
There's this leftist guy who was actually at the event too. So I saw him
The
there.
Jolly Ginger.
He wears a hat all the time that says Iraq, Afghanistan combat veteran.
Okay.
Ready? Dude's never seen a day of combat. What he says is he's been in a combat zone. So he's like, I've been in the country. I've never seen combat, but I've been in the country. So I deserve this.
I've been to Normandy because I saw Saving Private Ryan.
That's like saying, that's like saying, man, I know, like, I got mugged because the guy got mugged 2 blocks away. Like,
I know Taylor Swift because I saw her house in Newport.
I saw her concert.
We're besties.
Yeah.
What
That's
fuck?
the thing. Like, so this guy, and he's one of the dumbest people. Everything he says is wrong. It's hilarious. But you saw him, like, I saw him there. And once again, he's just one of these grifters that, like, hey, send me money so I can do this. Send me money so you can do this. I'm like, dude, it's crazy because I had to spend thousands of dollars for my lawyer fees.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Chris.
for an assault that I didn't do.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris Murphy. Thank you for standing up for your people.
Hey, don't worry though. Once we get our $200 back from our wonderful governor and that $30 a month savings on EverSource.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're the best. Like,
Hey, Ned Lamont, as I said on X, too little, way too fucking late.
No,
Get out.
elections
You
coming up.
suck.
That's why.
It's election year. Look
That's
at
why
I. Look at I.
We will do stuff.
Okay,
This is what
Stuart.
they always do. They always do stuff during election year.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, but that's crazy, man.
Look what I can do. That's all I see. It's Stuart.
Mad
Look what I can
TV,
do.
yeah.
Okay, Stuart. Well, you know what, Ned? You got your Google all over it. Get out. We don't want you here. You suck.
Yeah, like, this is the thing. Like, and the thing is, it was so funny. Oh, so the protest on the Tollin Bridge, so they would protest every Friday on Tollin Bridge. I have to announce this. It's great news I found out yesterday.
Ooh.
So they would protest every week for about a year on Tollin Bridge on Fridays around 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, I started showing up and trolling them. That's the homeless encampment one?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Anyways, they did. So I did it for like 3-4 weeks straight. And then finally my buddy was like, hey, I want to bring a bunch of Trump flags with some people and just do a Trump thing before they get there.
Oh.
So we set up before they got there. So when they showed up, they couldn't come in. So they could be there. We wouldn't stop them. But they instead, I saw them driving back around and they would, like, flick us off. We took over the thing. So because of that, ready for this? They then decided, they said, we're going to do spontaneous protests now because the maggots
Oh, yes.
took over our thing. So they no longer are protesting there on Fridays.
Good.
We literally stopped them from protesting.
That's awesome.
So they literally
That
don't.
is awesome.
Yeah, so we're like now. One of the guys is like, now this is called Patriot Bridge. So
Patriot
like,
Bridge.
yeah,
Hell
and,
dude.
it was great.
I
Yeah.
love that, man. Rob, this has been fun, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
I'm wow. It's almost 11:30.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, dude. This we've been cranking for a while, man.
Yeah, that's
We're definitely going to do this again, man,
Yeah,
if
absolutely,
you would. I appreciate you coming in. Where can people catch you? I know on Facebook at Rob Vardaro.
Yeah, Rob, R-O-B, last name Vardaro, V-A-R-D-A-R-O, V as in Victor, not D as in dog, like they dress as. But yeah, no.
And that is that it? Do you have-
There I have. That's the main thing is Facebook. Like I said, I just did it because I just got tired of their crap, and then people started liking it. So.
Because you're funny as fuck, dude. I
Yeah.
love it. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Thank you
brother.
for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in. You can catch me on X at Eric Not Sorry and on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. Thank you for watching. Take care.
You too.